And we all know that our forefathers fought hard to get the vote, right, to get the right to vote, and we need to use it, and we need to use our platform to educate everybody around us and let them know the issues that are in front of us and who of these candidates is going to make sure there's opportunities for us moving forward.
Doc, Coach, are you surprised? And I wasn't saying Doc. I call all brothers Doc sometimes. It's like I'm an old man. Coach, were you surprised by the? I don't know, and I don't know if you've seen it, but David and I here, we've been talking about how some of the young brothers haven't really. We've heard, well, I'm going to vote for this person or Trump, and again, I'm not going to tell anybody who to vote for. I know who I'm voting for, but have you been surprised by just the? I don't want to say lack of education, but have you been surprised by the stance of some of the younger brothers?
I've been kind of surprised to see some of them come out. I don't know where they're gathering their information, but I'm all about keeping receipts. And so when you talk about that candidate,
right?
When you talk about what he's done on his journey, from the day when his dad left him all that money, and he started building condos or apartments or whatever, when people of color tried to rent these or buy these, he denied them based on their color. Keep the receipts. Know what he is. Know what he is. When the 5 young men of color, the Central Park 5, was accused of attacking a woman in the park, this man buys a full-page ad in the New York Times and said they should bring back the death penalty and put these young men, before they even had a jury, before they even had a chance to have a trial. So understand this man. Keep the trials. Keep the receipts on him and hold him accountable. I don't know why when you talk about what he's talked about and when you read parts of Project 2025, which I read some of those parts, he's going to eliminate different departments of education. He was on Fox News the other day talking about, one of the reporters asked him, what happens if in their history class they start discussing the journeys of Black Americans, slavery. All of a sudden he's talking about, we're going to not fund those schools. We're going to not give them the resources they need. Who do they think that is going to be affected the most? Which communities are going to be hit the hardest? Our community.
You know, Coach.
And so when someone says that they don't want to vote for him, I don't understand the education or where they gather their information from.
You know, Coach, I saw that, and it really, I just, you know, for all the issues that we have, to sit there and say if people don't do what you say, right, you believe you can call the military, right? You should be, if you disagree. I don't know, and I think I'm happy and honored you're doing this Dunks for Democracy, particularly in our hometown. How do you get more people, again, at your level to say, hey, guys, it's not just our duty to get these platforms, make these monies, become these, for all intents and purposes, celebrity, Coach, but we have, as you said, continuing the movement of Jim Brown's, we have a duty to lift up our community. How do you express that to these brothers, man?
Well, I mean, you have to try to educate them and think about, you know what your father, you know what your mother, you know what their grandparents did, you know what your grandparents did. The ideal of the image, when he said he will sick our own military against us, you know what that took me back? That took me back to when the dogs were set on us, when they turned the police departments on us to protest. That's the image I kind of gathered when he said that. I'm like, what? Did he just say that? I mean, again, understand what our people have, the challenges we have come through to get to the point where we are today. And for these two candidates, one, talk about moving forward, trying to provide opportunities for us, the economic opportunities that we all know that we need. And one candidate talking about he's going to eliminate all these different departments that you know which community is going to be mostly impact on the
That's right.
That's
right.
You know which community.
That's
you know
right.
what community is coming first. Don't even act like you don't know. And then you talk
That's
about
right.
him hanging out with all his billionaire buddies and his big corporations. He wants to give them tax credits. He wants to eliminate or at least provide the power for these big corporations. Because you know what? Oh, they're trying to unionize or eliminate them. Just give them the power where they can just fire somebody without just cause. And when you talk about not allowing these unions to function, why are these? My dad was a factory worker. Why do you think these unions are important? To protect their wages, to protect their benefits for their families, but we can have a portion of American dream that we all want to have. And so, believe him when he says, right? Believe who's that? Maya Angelou. When someone tells you who they are, believe them.
The first
believe this man when he talks about how he's gonna impact and what he's gonna change, because he will, and he will. He would. Well, he's gonna just release the police the opportunity to just stop and search when they want to. Again, know the history. Who's gonna be the first community the police is gonna be driving around checking on?
Yeah.
These are the things that when you talk to young black men, they have to understand the importance of this, as well as.
That's right.
We all know what happened with the Supreme Court Justice Judge. We allowed him to put those people on the judge. Now, look, we all have mothers, we all have daughters, we all have nieces, and we know that the next president is going to have an opportunity, maybe put 2 judges on the Supreme Court.
At least.
Now, we can't let the same mistake happen before. We got to stand up, get off the bench, get in the game, and understand the importance of our vote. Understand the importance of how we got to continue to fight for every inch we can get, and understand that we want people in front of us. We want warriors who's going to be in the White House, be in the Senate, and is going to try to champion our causes and help us get those type of economic, opportunities that we need to continue to, get our own generational wealth moving forward.
Absolutely, Coach. I don't want us to start from a premise that may or may not be accurate, but I want to hear from you from where you sit in your ground game. Are you seeing, first of all, lack of support from black men for Kamala Harris, and if so, why might that be, or if not, tell us about that as well.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that, but obviously I think that the important thing is that the polling is telling us that, because they've obviously reached out to those demographics. And for whatever reason, they feel like they're not talking, she's not talking, or she doesn't have a particular plan. Yes, she's talking about the country in general. What about us, our demographics, just our demographics? What is she saying? And they don't feel like that's happening. And so they want to, I'm not saying they're going to vote for him. I'm just saying they want to sit on the sideline. And we're trying to get them engaged, but we can't let them sit on the sideline. They got to understand the importance of what their forefathers fought for in regards to the right to vote. And they have to get out and make a difference and listen to what this man is talking about and how he's going to try to impact our country. But even, again, when you go and make it about us, our community, what steps are you really going to take? What steps did he do when he was in the White House? He didn't do anything.
Indeed.
He tried to appeal Obamacare. Right?
Yeah, it wasn't successful at that, Coach. It wasn't successful.
No,
and then took credit for saving it.
Yeah. And
so, Coach,
he tried to take credit.
Take credit for it. So, one, I want to give you the last word, and one, thank you. I do have one more question, because, again, I come back to the feeling and the spirit that I believe you bring to this. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, Coach, you made it. You successful, right? You're not hurting for money. But yet there is this issue where I think people of your stature they tend to get lumped in as just conservative Republicans. And for whatever reason. But here you are, a successful person who says, you know what, we still have to remember not everybody is a millionaire, a billionaire. How do you maintain that focus or that spirituality, I guess?
Well, I mean, you got to have gratitude, and you got to understand the struggles it took you to get to that point. I know when I was at Atkinson Park grinding, didn't know what my next step was going to be. I know what it was like my dad working jobs and trying to put clothes on me and give me the next, all-star Dr. J Star shoes, and how challenging that was. And so, yes, we put in the work, and we were successful, and we were able to get a certain level of wealth. And so, but I still have friends who are fighting every day. Every day they're waking up, Milwaukee, going to work, got good jobs, but still they're having the same challenges that if I wouldn't have been a basketball player and made it to that level, I would be faced with those same type of challenges. So those are the type of things that I know I stay grounded in who I am and where I'm from, where I came from, and the importance of just talking about issues that I think that's very important for our community. And that's why the whole premise of me being behind it. I know the state of Wisconsin is a huge swing state. I know the city of Milwaukee and the greater county metropolitan areas are critical in this election. And I know that Vice President Harris and Coach Wall are going to do right by us. They're going to put the things in place that they've already mentioned in regards to small businesses credits and allow them to have resources in that department for first-time homeowners. They talked about that, and so they heard them. They heard them talk about what they want to hear, and she has gotten together with her team and talked about those issues that I think that's very critical, that they understand, listen to it, and then they react to what I feel is very important for them.
Well, Coach Porter, we want to thank you. I don't want to keep up too much of your time, but I'm going to give you the last word. I just want everybody to understand Thursday, October 24th, you all listening under the sound of our voice, go out, hang out, touch base, vibe with Coach Terry Porter, one of Milwaukee's, Wisconsin's own, at the Dump for Democracy Early Vote Block Party with Doc Rivers, Governor Wes Moore, and again, Coach Terry Porter. That's Thursday, October 24th from 3 to 6. Location, Rosa Park. That's 3045 North Dr. MLK Jr. Drive. Coach, I'm going to give you the last word and let you get out of here, man.
All right, great. So I just want to correct you. So that event is at Clinton Rose Senior Citizen City.
Okay.
City Center, excuse me.
No.
And so, just to clarify, that's at Clinton Rose Senior Center.
Clinton Rose Senior Center.
No. No, that's where we're going to go to.
I think it's, yeah.
You're right. I don't want to confuse the listeners. So you are correct. That's where. That's
oh, they gonna find you, Doc. Trust me, they gonna find you, Doc. Trust me. they gonna find you.
I look forward to getting back home and look forward to hanging out and talking about the issues and obviously the importance of this election. I can't stress that enough. And we got to do everything we can to get people off the bench and get them in the game and understand the issues and make them vote. And then they get to hang out with us and talk about, the old days. I'm sure there's going to be somebody there talking about they schooled me. Not going to happen. Didn't happen back in the day.
you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
It's coming.
You know it's coming. Well, Coach, we appreciate it, man. Absolutely. Hats off to you for just being who you are and for making everybody proud, man. We love you, man, and hopefully we'll all see you this week.
Coach, you were one of the most
look forward to seeing
effective.
You guys. All right. Thank you again for your time. Be blessed.
Coach, you're one of the most effective surrogates I've heard this political season. Thank you for that.
Oh, man, thank you. You know how important it is, man. We got to get it out. We got to let them know.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach Terry Porter, everybody. Have a good one. So, great conversation. As you all heard, I mean, and again, I think Coach Porter addressed a number of issues in that quite honestly, a very impactful moment.
Absolutely. Where
we talked about just his rationale. And I think it's important for somebody that came at that level to discuss this. And what we'll do is, Jay, let's go to a break and then we'll come back. And we'll talk about, get into more, I think, of this, the reasons why we believe people of faith, from a piece written by attorney Reverend David Hart, why Christians should be backing Vice President Kamala Harris. So we'll have more of this conversation on the other side. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. CBS Tonight.
If there's more violence coming, we can stop this together.
My team is on their way. Let's get to work.
New FBIs are back.
The assassins are inbound.
He has a knack for finding the suspect.
You're too old for this crap.
CBS Tuesday.
This will be dangerous.
Must be Tuesday.
Is FBI Night.
I want you to trust me.
I trust you.
Tonight on CBS 58. The CBS 58 News at 10 with Natalie Shepard.
I think if you watch the other stations, you might think nothing good ever happens in Milwaukee, and we know that's just not true.
And Jessup Riceback.
We do find solutions to some issues in our communities.
We are focused on finding stories that are impactful, and I think that's something that really sets our newscasts apart.
It is an honor to sit in those chairs on that desk and help tell those stories.
Jessup and Natalie. Weeknights at 10 on CBS 58, your hometown station.
I'm done voting for Democrats this year. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Senator Baldwin's policies have crushed Black Americans. We are paying more for food, clothes, and everyday items than ever. It's harder than ever to find affordable housing. Democrats say defund the police. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Who pays the price when there aren't enough cops on the street? Whose neighborhood gets violent? We see that violence and pay that price, not people in the suburbs. It's folks like us trying to go to work, take care of our kids, live our lives, wondering if something's going to happen on our block. How about jobs? Democrats let 12 million illegal aliens come here the last 4 years. Who are they taking jobs from? Not people in the suburbs. They take those jobs from us. I'm done voting for Democrats this year.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for the U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Hovde for Wisconsin.
When it comes to accurate, reliable election information for Wisconsin voters, visit the official site. It's myvote.wi.gov. It's the big cheese, you could say. It's your one-stop source for official Wisconsin election information. Find your polling place, see your sample ballot, make sure your registration is up to date, and more at myvote.wi.gov. Sponsored by Wisconsin Elections Commission, aired by Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. Go to pcf.org today. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Join Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 11th and 12th. Register at marketplacewisconsin.com.
Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Still dealing with this accident on westbound 94 at 68th Street. The left lane is blocked, so that is causing some problems, delays all the way back into the Marquette. The eastbound side, we've got delays out of the Zoo interchange to Hawley Road as well. In Waukesha County, we do have some delays eastbound coming right past Barker Road, and then again from Brookfield Road past Calhoun. Southbound 43, a very heavy ride from North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and all the way down to the KK River crossing. And 894 eastbound, still with that accident off on the right shoulder at 27th Street. Folks are getting past it without too much of an issue, though. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, becoming breezy, a low of 51. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, and cooler, a high of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Stein. A day after beating the Houston Texans, head coach Matt LaFleur met with the media on Monday to discuss his new kicker, Brandon McManus, after knocking in the 45-yard field goal as time expired to win on Sunday afternoon.
You know, we're fortunate that he's been in those situations before, so we had a lot of confidence in him.
Packers will begin their preparations out on the practice field for Jacksonville tomorrow. Staying with the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens knocked off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football 41-31. Arizona also winning on Monday night, beating the LA Chargers 17-15. Over to the NBA, where the season will officially tip off tonight. The season preview show for the Milwaukee Bucks can be heard on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee and 620 WTMJ tonight, beginning at 7 p.m. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who's on assignment. And today I got my brother, special guest, host, Reverend David Hart.
Yes.
And we've talked a lot about this election. And in fact, one of the things Reverend Hart and I will be doing is launching up a podcast to talk about just a number of items. And it came about because I think some of the things that Coach Porter was saying and some of the things that we wanted to just, I think, addressing some things that tend to get ignored, like why are you voting for Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris? And you wrote a piece on that I want to read and then get into. And to be very candid, I think it's really on time, D, because
I appreciate that.
It really is on time. And I feel I can say this. Our old pastor, and nothing, good guy, but Tasha and I were on Facebook, and it came out that maybe he was supporting Donald Trump. And let's just say it didn't go over well. You know, it was a lot of people that had a real hard issue.
Yeah.
And one of the things I can understand if people have the abortion thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can get that.
That's right.
However, what these Sadducees and Pharisees seem to forget.
Wow.
I know, I had to break. What these Sadducees and Pharisees seem to overlook.
That's right.
Okay, I understand the abortion thing. That's you ain't feeling that.
Indeed.
But what about the adultery? What about the forsaking the poor?
Oh my goodness.
What about the defaming, the lying?
Indeed.
What about all the other 12 unjustifiable?
That's right. That's right.
Are we just throwing that out?
It looks like it. It looks like it. It looks like it. And by the way, you can be against abortion and be Christian and all of those things that you just said, but just say that that's between them and their God. So you just don't have any abortions, and your household doesn't have. That's literally by definition pro-choice. And nobody's forcing you to have one.
You know, so let me read this piece you wrote.
Yes, sir.
In Madison 365, one of our brothers, Henry Saunders,
that's right,
founded and started this. Very intelligent brother. And so here it is. I've always needed a reason. For as long as I can remember, I've always sought an explanation for why something is done or not done. It has impacted pieces of my life in court. Zealous advocacy is poetic, and being on the side of justice is noble. But it is the pursuit of truth, and with it, reason that keeps me wedded to the practice of law. In seminary, I questioned a great deal. I needed to know why seminary was 3 years and not a 1 or 2 year course of study. I wanted to know how the required coursework was chosen and what its practical implications would be for leading a church. I wanted to know why seminary programs were not more accessible to lay members of the church. I questioned. And so when a person close to my congregation asked me the reason I was supporting Kamala Harris for president, it warmed my heart that someone needed to hear some reasons. I told them that there were 4 biblically based reasons I was supporting Harris. Here they are. You shall love your neighbor as yourself, Mark 12, verse 31. Kamala Harris recognizes the God-given dignity of every human being, noting that in Jesus' parable of the Good Samaritan neighbor is about understanding and living in service of others, that we are all each other's brothers and sisters. She adds, my earliest memories of the teachings of the Bible were of a loving God, a God who asked us to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves and to defend the rights of the poor and needy. For a decade, Harris's opponent has disparaged entire ethnic groups, mocked the handicapped and war wounded, and witheringly belittled those who disagree with him, shifting policy disputes to personal attacks marked by venom and bigotry. He has normalized in many followers an acceptance of crudeness and unfounded accusations, having long ago found that it's easier to voice hatred when it's served up as comedy. Even in Christian settings, audiences who might never on their own indulge in such characterizations laugh and hoot, temporarily deaf to Christ's commands, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Number 2, you shall not bear false witness, Matthew 19, verse 18. The Bible warns over 100 times against lying, and Jesus spoke clearly about the importance of telling the truth. No political candidate has immaculate hands. Kamala Harris, and her campaign have made misstatements. But between the 2 candidates, only one has made a pattern of telling outright lies. Harris's opponent's own press secretary, Stephanie Grisham, who knew him well, states devastatingly, he has no empathy, no morals, and no fidelity to the truth. He used to tell me, it doesn't matter what you say, Stephanie. Say it enough and people will believe you. Number 3, beware of false prophets, Matthew 7, verse 15. Christianity teaches that only God is omniscient. The nation's founders, recognizing human prosperity for sin, created checks and balances to ensure no branch of government acquires unwarranted power. The first call Harris made after deciding to run for president was to her pastor, the Reverend Amos C. Brown of San Francisco's Third Baptist Church, who invoked his favorite Bible verse, Micah 6, verse 8, as he spoke with her, reminding her to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your Maker. That's what we need in this nation. There's too much arrogance and egocentricity after all this Trumpism. Harris's opponent seeks to empower himself. He tells followers that checks and balances should be jettisoned for one powerful figure, himself. Fair elections are the bedrock of democracy, but the former president, echoing autocrats worldwide, has refused to commit to accepting the results of an upcoming election unless he wins. His chief of staff, John Kelly, describes Harris's opponent as a person who admires autocrats and murderous dictators. A person who has nothing but contempt for our democratic institutions, our Constitution, and the rule of law. Finally, you will know them by their fruits. Matthew 7, verses 15 and 16. Harris's opponents' supporters excuse his personal wrongdoing and polarizing behavior. I'm going to read that again. Harris's opponents, supporters, excuse his personal wrongdoing and polarizing behavior. We're Christians and we can look past that, says one. It doesn't bother me because his policies are strong. Well, actually, are they though? The fruits of those strong policies often turned out bitter. During his 4 years in office, the U.S. economy lost 2.7 million jobs. Unemployment increased 6.4%. The federal debt and trade deficit, which Donald Trump vowed to lower, both went up, instead rising even before the 2020 global pandemic, exacerbated by a tax cut that failed to bring in predicted revenues. I am the king of debt, Donald Trump once boasted. He confirmed it during his term. Public health fared even worse than economic health, due in part to Harris's opponents' denial and mismanaged response to COVID-19. 400,000 Americans died of the disease during his year in office, a higher rate of deaths than any other wealthy nation. In a study of 38 million articles about the pandemic, Cornell University concluded in 2020, the biggest surprise was that the President of the United States was the single largest driver of misinformation around COVID. In recounting his policies, The two mentioned most favorably are abortion and immigration. But Trump supporters omit two revealing statistics. The number of abortions in the U.S. increased during his administration, reversing a nearly 30-year decline. And illegal immigration along the southwest border rose while he was president. Christian voters who would make Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party support for reproductive rights the main reason to vote against her are ignoring history. The 30-year decline in abortions, until 2017, occurred under both Democratic and Republican administrations, but at a steeper rate during the former. Republican attempts to ban abortion and limit access to contraception appear to prove less effective in actually reducing abortions than Democratic steps on behalf of family planning, education, and low-cost contraception. When it comes to immigration, Christian voters should be hard-pressed to reconcile Jesus' command to welcome the stranger. With the Harris opponent's administration, forcible separation of families at the border, and his stated intent in the second term to round up and deport the 11 million undocumented immigrants posing the blood of our nation. I'm going to finish the rest of this because we're almost done, and I want you all to marinate on that until we come back. These 4 reasons why Christians should vote for Kamala Harris. We'll have more of this conversation on the other side. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What distinguishes Old National Bank from other lenders in helping people buy their first home and furthering their small businesses?
One thing that really makes us stand out is our grants. We have 2 really big grants right now specifically for first-time home buyers buying in Milwaukee County. The first one is for $15,000. They have to be buying within Milwaukee County and reach certain income limits. And then the second one is for $20,000, and that is through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indiana. We're headquartered in Indiana, as you know, Denise. So that is a second grant, and that is really the highest, most robust grant program throughout the entire southeastern Wisconsin area. So it's it's up to $35,000 essentially that a person could be receiving for their first home. If you are in a position that you're looking to buy your first home throughout Milwaukee County, please give me a call. Please contact me. I'm more than happy to help everybody that I can.
And what's your number, Anna?
Sure.
How can they reach you?
414-978-0283.
What's up, Troop Nation? It's your girl, Noni Juice, here from my friends at Steinhafels. And guess what? Steinhafels has everything you need to get your home ready for the holidays. Elegant dining sets, perfect for hosting family dinners, cozy bedrooms to relax and recharge after celebrations, and fireplaces to warm those cold winter nights. Plus, with Steinhafels' 18-month financing, getting your home ready for the holidays has never been easier. Steinhafels, helping you make the holidays special. Shop in-store or online at Steinhafels.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Community Life Skills Center and Counseling Services, they believe everyone deserves access to support, regardless of insurance status. Whether you're seeking guidance in spiritual matters, battling substance abuse, or overcoming trauma, they offer a safe space to heal. From family counseling to navigating grief, domestic violence to fostering healthy relationships, their diverse services cater to your needs. But they're more than just counselors. They're educators too. So reach out to them at 414-226-5604. Your breakthrough is just around the corner.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth. The Truth
go
app
right in, Jay.
and 1017thetruth.com.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields filling in for Dr. Ken, who is on assignment. And you all make sure you tune into this and read this, particularly for those of you who, you don't want to be manipulated and made to feel bad, because there are these people who, I believe, use religion to justify anything and everything, while at the same time turning a blind eye towards other bad behavior. And Reverend Attorney David Hart ends his article saying, in her political career, Kamala Harris has exhibited greater adherence than her opponent to the commands of Christ and democratic traditions. The signs are hopeful that a Harris presidency will reflect those same values that have distinguished her in life. And we're going to go to another break, but when we come back, I want to get into this discussion, because I think what we're starting to see is people are being made to feel as if they're not godly if they vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
That's been the trick for the last several years with him and his supporters.
And they totally ignore all the other items. And so when we come back, we're going to get into that. These 4 reasons why Christians should support Kamala Harris. We'll be right back. This is the Truth Live from the American Family Insurance Studio in the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I'm Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers. They were with me every step of the way, helping with my English and math, making sure I push through all the challenges.
Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling, boss, work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Garage doors giving you a headache? Best way I know how to deal with it is to call my friends at Geis. Family owned since 1955, Geis is the trusted authority on garage doors and openers in southeastern Wisconsin. Trust me, I use them too. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they've done doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For fast, reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com or call 262-784-4250.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio in the Avenue, heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who's on assignment. And we got our caller, Brian from Milwaukee. You're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What you got for us?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Fields, right?
Yep, I'm doing good, man.
That's good. Boy, y'all really laying it in on the conservative voters, conservative Republican
come on, man.
I almost flipped my script right there. Hey, I'm going to tell you.
Come on, B.
I'm going to tell you. I would love for Kamala to win. I would love for her to be successful based on the way she looked. Just on that. But when it comes down to I prefer a good-looking woman in the White House, I'll tell you.
Come on, Brian. Come on, man.
This how I go, man. We black men, we looking at it like this. We don't want Adam and Steve. We don't want Adam and Steve in our granddaughter's bathroom. Okay? We don't want that. We also don't want...
What do you mean, sir?
Because the Democratic Party is bigger than Kamala Harris. Okay?
Yes, sir.
The agendas of the Democratic Party may not have as much to do with Kamala Harris as much as they're going to make Kamala Harris do what they want her to do.
Okay.
Her pie in the sky ideas are great. I would love for her to be successful with that kind of stuff. But that's not going to happen on day one once she get in office. The Democratic agenda is basically a depopulation agenda for black folks, period. And I don't care how you sugarcoat it. I don't care how you talk about it. At the end of the day, that's what they're on. They're on the Green New Deal, and they're on limiting populations. And we know we 13% of the population, so black folks cannot afford to do anything when it comes to abortion. We need as many black bodies as possible, or by 2050 we won't be here. So that pie in the sky stuff that they're talking about,
Sure, we got to push back on that just a little bit. Yeah. When you say depopulation, you mean what exactly?
Well, if you're promoting transgender ways and alphabet ways, those people don't reproduce. And that's fine for certain populations to decrease. But as far as the black population, we can't follow into that. We're already at a decline. 13% is crap. We need to be at least 40 to 50% before we can get some equal justice in this entire country. So when we vote, we got to vote for what's going to benefit our people in the future. What's done is done for us, but we got to vote for the young folks coming up now. So that's why we sometimes we may have to hold our nose and vote for the hustler that's for doing things the traditional normal way, and just say we love you, sister, but we got to vote for somebody that's not as draconian as what's coming behind you.
All right, Brian, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks, brother, and keep listening. I'm glad you called in, and so thank you, Brian.
I appreciate the perspective.
So David, I mean, I'll deter to you. You the attorney and the Reverend. make the case. Now, I do, Brian. I'm gonna disagree with you on the Democratic Party agenda and how it's. Like, I don't go around promoting folks, lifestyle. What I do promote is people having the ability to be fair. And just because we Democrats don't mean we agree with everything Democrats do. So, I can appreciate some of your stances, but you don't want us to lump in everybody. It's just like, I don't think all conservatives are with Donald Trump. In fact, what I think is really just stands out to me the most is that you all aren't even listening to the people who worked for the man and who worked with him. And these are the people saying, hey, this guy is dangerous.
That's right.
And so we can have these policy disagreements but this is bigger than policy. This man is unstable. And y'all not even willing to listen to the people who worked with them. That's my issue. And so, again, we can have policy differences, but for some of you to believe that this guy is God's answer to what? Reverend?
That I'm still searching for. I don't know what God would have been finding the answer for with him. So no, I think as black folk, we understand uniquely what it feels like to be oppressed and marginalized and be on the outside. And I'm certainly not attempting to force anyone to believe as I do or we do, but we understand what that feels like. To be oppressed and marginalized because of who we are and what we look like and things that we can't change about ourselves. I think the science suggests that you call them the alphabet people, but trans, queer people, bisexual, lesbians, gay folk, there's a biological, this is a biological determination rather than a societal determination or a choice, and we understand we should be on that side of equity and right. That's one piece. Jason Brother Fields pointed out some really good points, but about why we would what's to it to supporting him, but we're not even looking at Harris's bread and butter issues.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a plan for affordable housing that is second to none. First home buyers will be given credits and funding to help them. She has a prescription plan. She has expansion of Medicare. There are some really solid issues that she has been very detailed about. I think much of this is because she's black and because she's a woman, but the first knee-jerk response to when we run for something and we have something is, we're being vague and we don't know the issues. She has studied these issues and she has been extraordinarily specific in how she's going to solve these things. So as Jason pointed out, there may not be, we may not agree on every single issue, but those bread and butter issues that she's talking about for us, they're absolutely aligned with our community.
And I think one of the issues, and I want to get into this, because again, I can appreciate everybody's certain policies, but we're not necessarily talking about policies. What I find is that the discussions is not around policies. It's around people's personal beliefs. And if you're going to apply a standard of a person's personal belief to one person, you need to apply them to both. And so I don't see how, when you look at his personal beliefs based on what he has done, we'll talk about the Central Park 5. You'll talk about his policy around, hey, let's give law enforcement unequivocal power and immunity.
Yes.
Let's talk about you trying to kill a health plan. When we start comparing policies to policies, I don't see how you make that argument. And Brian, to your credit, you didn't make a policy argument. You made an argument about a personal belief that you disagree with. Okay, but is that one issue greater than the detriment to the entire black community? And I don't see how you. I appreciate the political discourse and that nature. We're gonna go to a break, and I want to come back, and I want to dive into some of this stuff, David. And can you be a Christian and vote for Kamala Harris? Because we are. I know you just answered that, but for the people that say that kind of stuff, can you be a Christian and have your views and still vote for Kamala Harris?
I'll cut the suspense. Yes, we can go to break, but I'll cut the suspense. But yes.
We'll have more of this conversation on the other side. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas from Truth Be Told with DT and Telly, and I am so excited for you to tune in to our monthly interview with Old National Bank. Old National Bank will be joining us to discuss why they are so committed to supporting women and people of color-owned businesses, while also discussing their Empowerment Loan Program, which can provide your business access to funds up to $5 million. So don't miss our Truth Be Told monthly interview with Old National Bank at 8 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hardworking family businesses, ambitious entrepreneurs, relationship builders, and job creators. Businesses like yours are the heart of Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation lives to help you realize your vision. Join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development. It will be held December 11th and 12th at the Baird Center in Milwaukee and virtually on the 10th. Presented by WEDC, Marketplace Wisconsin is a chance for minority, women, LGBTQ+, veteran-owned and small businesses to network, explore government contracting, and grow. You keep our state moving with construction, janitorial services, logistics and transportation, technology, medical services, and more. And Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation wants to help propel your success too. Let's look forward together. Register for Marketplace Wisconsin today at marketplacewisconsin.com.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
The WIAA football playoffs is here. Tune in this Friday night as the #1 seeded Marquette Hilltoppers begin their quest for back-to-back state championship titles as they host the 8th seeded Milwaukee Marshall Eagles. The football action kicks off at 7 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth. Marquette University High School football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Left's Lucky Town, Boyle Frederickson Intellectual Property Law, and Marquette University High School.
Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated is celebrating 35 years of serving all income and medically underserved populations of Milwaukee's metropolitan area. MHSI is a one-stop shop that provides medical, radiology, dental, pediatric, behavioral health, pharmacies with affordable medications, and more. Also, MHSI's new family medicine residency program, located at the Isaac Cobbs Heritage Health Center, has brought 28 family doctors to our area, which is significantly impacted by healthcare workforce shortages. Become a new patient today. To schedule an appointment, call 414-372-8080. Your health is their business.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who's on assignment. And we've been talking about a wonderful piece written by attorney, my dear friend, Reverend David Hart, about 4 reasons why Christians can support Kamala Harris. And we'll go to some callers. We have the caller from, I would imagine, Milwaukee. What do you got for us?
Oh, no doubt. Straight out of Sherman Park area, Washington High School.
All right.
Beckham Stapleton alumni, and we are having a gala for Mr. James Beckham for his 95th birthday on November 22nd at St. Kate's Hotel. So I want you all to come out and support this man who has just done wonderful things in our community for 60 years. We call it the 95-60 Gala, and he definitely, if anybody, as a former Negro League player who has the list of successful people who came through his program is endless. And so that's the first thing I want to say. And in order for things like that to continue, we do have to be smarter. And anytime you embrace the misogyny, the lies, the traitorism, because I, as a military person, I recognize a traitor and a Benedict Arnold when I see one. And I know as a black man, my worst enemy is a Confederate. So I call that movement no longer the Republican Party, but the Make America Confederate Again Party, because that's the flag that they flew when they, for the first time since 1812, seceded and attacked our capital. And with all those things said, those people died. So those are definitely not Christian values. So anybody who calls in and speaks holier than thou about a man who has a Bible with the Constitution and his name written in it, I challenge them to listen to this pastor from Charlotte, North Carolina, Pastor Livingston, who talked about how you do not remix the Constitution, place it into the Bible, because that's blasphemy. And so
the scriptures,
our brother,
the scriptures are clear about that. That there should be nothing added on. No, I'm sorry. I was just affirming what you said. The scriptures are clear about that.
Sir.
You're right.
Yes, sir. Our brother Brian calls in on a lot of shows, and I say many times his name rhymes with the word that starts with L, because if you're willing to ignore those things and talk about people's, as you said, personal lives, then you're the one with the agenda, and the agenda is many times anti-woman. And it's unfortunate that women who have stood by us through slavery, when I'm sure women didn't meet those first ships that landed in West Africa. It was black men who I'm sure sold us into this position, and there are many families in West Africa that are still rich from that.
Man, I appreciate the call, brother. You saying something. Thank you. We have Deborah. I believe this is my mother, everybody.
Jason, I don't need an introduction every time. Hi, how are you, Doctor?
They go get one when I'm on the show. What you got, Mama? They go get one.
Well, I had a lot to say until Brian called in, and then he just messed with me, so I have to respond to Brian. First of all, when we talk about, the question was, can you be a Christian and vote for Kamala? Absolutely, positively, unequivocally.
Come on now.
Yes.
Come on now.
I am a Christian. I am a Christian. And the Bible says a man shall not divorce his wife unless for sexual immorality. Now, we know this boy has been married and divorced 3 times already. He on wife number 3.
Goodness.
So he messed up. He's messing up right there. And then on the issue of abortion, I can gladly go to God and ask for forgiveness for myself.
That's right.
And for those who are forced into a situation of having to make that decision. But the thing about abortion that I always find amazing is it's typically, and I'm saying typically, the woman who suffers the repercussions from having to make the decision to have an abortion, to going through the process and all of that. So it's the idea that when we talk about abortion, I can ask God, please, God, forgive me, because I don't think it's right that a 12-year-old should be forced to have sex, then get pregnant, carry the baby, because somebody else doesn't want to. And then who's going to adopt all these kids Brian think we should keep having out here in the world? And then speaking on further on that is the idea that Brian wants us to have all these babies, but where the daddies going to be at for all these babies? Where are the fathers that's supposed to be in the houses to help raise all these kids that Brian wants us to all have? Don't get me wrong, I absolutely believe black women have done a wonderful job of being single mothers, but it's a hard job. And it shouldn't be just on her. And it's easy for some men to be with a woman and lay up, have a baby, and then keep moving around. So before Brian starts talking about we having a lot of babies, we need to have more babies, Brian needs to speak to the issue of who's going to help take care of all these babies. Where are the fathers going to be that help create the communities? And we don't want Donald Trump as our protector, thank you very much. We want our black men as our protectors. I just wore myself out thinking about this, but thank you very much.
I'm just going to I'm going to get the praise team together, and we're going to have a benediction. And hey, that was a 3-point sermon. Amen. Amen.
Do you have it? Say that again, Jason. All right. Okay. So thank you, Mama. Thanks for calling in. Mr. Moore, we have you from Milwaukee.
Hey, how you doing this evening? I'm seeing you guys are very cheerful today. That's good. That's very good. With this, the two evils, the two evils. Okay. Who to vote for? Either one of them. You feel me? It's too many. Just say it's too many Indians, and it ain't enough chiefs. And the chiefs that's running this country is destroying this country. So, we need to, as people, we need to really start taking a look at each other and stop falling for this. We need to do this and do that. We need to do for us. We need to start finding ways. We need to support each other. We see the police, the government really don't care for us. Look at what happened with this individual. I don't know when it happened, but I heard about it today. The police system. He was raped by individuals. If y'all think about every black person that has been killed and every president that we have had, the changes that they claim or said they will make for us, they haven't done none of that. We die every day. I'm not a Christian. I'm spiritual because everybody should know wrong from right.
Right.
Now, I listen to some doctors, some individuals way older than me, and they said that we were the first individuals on this planet. And I just don't get it. We're the strongest on this planet. But we have other nationalities that are manipulative. I mean, and we fall for it. It's like we fall for anything. I'm just fed up with falling for anything. They don't do. It's like that one song.
No, I thank you, Mr. Moore. I appreciate it, man. You know, I think that's, you know, when we talk about these things, and as you can see, it gets very passionate and energetic.
Indeed.
And as it should, right?
Yeah.
Like, as it should.
For sure.
Because we can have political discourse.
That's right.
And disagree.
That's right.
You know, because I think a lot of times we feel, you know, whether people have done something or not, I mean, you will always have that criticism of particularly in politics, because politics is designed where one person should not have all the power. And so it will be very hard. And I think again, Mr. Moore's point is a lot of times, to every black person who called on here, regardless of where they came from, I don't think anybody disagrees that we need to do more for ourselves.
Indeed.
In the meantime, right, we got to play the game. You know, you can't just take your ball and go home. You can't take your pieces off the chessboard. And I think when you look at this, you know, is it fair to ask, well, even if we don't agree with everything either candidate says, it's a clear choice. It's a clear choice when we start looking at everything that's on the line. From one person saying, I want to have all the power, another person saying, one person saying, you know, I want to give police immunity, one person consistently lying, one person consistently using the Bible as a prop. And so I think we can get to a point where, listen, we may not be happy with everything, but there are times where you go, you know what, quite honestly, and I want you to come back and answer this when we come back from break, David. We may not be happy with everybody's perfections and imperfections, but there's a clear choice here, and there's a clear choice, and you can still keep your faith and to be biblically based with that choice.
Yes.
I want you to come back and address that. We'll have more of this conversation on the other side. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
CBS Tonight.
If there's more violence coming, we can stop this together.
My team is on their way. Let's get to work. New FBIs are back.
The assassins are inbound.
He has a knack for finding the suspect.
They're too old for this crap. CBS Tuesday. This will be dangerous.
Must be Tuesday.
Is FBI Night.
I want you to trust me.
I trust you. Tonight on CBS 58. The CBS 58 News at 10 with Natalie Shepard.
I think if you watch the other stations, you might think nothing good ever happens in Milwaukee, and we know that's just not true.
And Jessup Riceback.
We do find solutions to some issues in our communities.
We are focused on finding stories that are impactful, and I think that's something that really sets our newscasts apart.
It is an honor to sit in those chairs on that desk and help tell those stories.
Jessup and Natalie. Weeknights at 10 on CBS 58, your hometown station.
Sometimes it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough. And at Vin Baker Recovery, they understand the power of having real support while you're on that journey to recovery. This is why at Vin Baker Recovery, they customize treatment plans specific for your needs. Vin Baker Recovery provides our community and anyone looking for help with access to mental health care and recovery support, helping you treat addiction. So whether opioid abuse, alcohol, or other controlled substances, Vin Baker Recovery helps you get back to the lifestyle that you know will be the best option for your future. Vin Baker Recovery offers licensed counseling and therapy services to curb the mental health problems that have been impacting our communities for far too long. They provide services like medication-assisted treatment, outpatient care, and hub and spoke services with peer support. So what are you waiting for? Vin Baker Recovery accepts walk-ins and appointments. It's just that easy. Just visit VinBakerRecovery.com. That's VinBakerRecovery.com. They're here to help you win the day.
It's 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Get the look you want for your home with customizable windows and doors from Pella. The durability of materials gets tested tens of thousands of times to ensure they last for years to come. Pella offers custom colors and innovative features like shades between the glass. And right now, celebrate Gina Della's 60th birthday with 0 for 60. Put 0 down, get 0 interest for up to 60 months. Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
The Greater Milwaukee Urban League Ball is sold out, but you can still join in the fun and support the work of the Urban League. Participate in a special online silent auction of great prizes and experiences. Auction items include a night at Milwaukee St. Kate Hotel, an autographed Packers football, baseball, hockey, and soccer tickets, and a special evening at Lake Park Bistro. Go to the Urban League's website and click on the black and white ball tab. Visit tmul.org. Let the bidding begin.
A couple of new issues out on the road. First of all, westbound 94, just west of Sunny Slope Road, we've got an accident, and it is blocking the left lane, backup stretching all the way back to Highway 100. We've also got southbound 41 at Watertown Plank Road, off on the right shoulder, another crash there. I'm not saying delays just yet, but it just happened, so those might start to build up. We do have an issue on the ramp from Lapham to northbound 4394. There is a crash there as well, although it is off on the right shoulder. Now, as far as delays are concerned, southbound 43 is backed up from Locust down through the Marquette, all the way down to the KK River. Westbound 94, heavy through the Marquette, all the way to Hawley Road. And then, of course, we got those delays with that other accident in Waukesha County. Eastbound 94 is backed up from before 84th Street through the Stadium interchange. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, becoming breezy, a low of 51. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, and cooler with a high of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Stein. A day after beating the Houston Texans, head coach Matt LaFleur met with the media on Monday to discuss his new kicker, Brandon McManus, after knocking in the 45-yard field goal as time expired to win on Sunday afternoon.
We're fortunate that he's been in those situations before, so we had a lot of confidence in him.
Packers will begin their preparations out on the practice field for Jacksonville tomorrow. Staying with the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens knocked off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football 41-31. Arizona also winning on Monday night, beating the LA Chargers 17-15. Over to the NBA, where the season will officially tip off tonight. The season preview show for the Milwaukee Bucks can be heard on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee and 620 WTMJ tonight, beginning at 7 p.m. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We're back. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I'm Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who's on assignment, and my brother, attorney Reverend Dr. Hart, pastor at Sherman Church on Madison's east side?
North side.
North side. And we have a caller. What you got for us? I'm sorry, I didn't see your name, sir. Sorry about that.
It's Security Mike.
Security Mike, how are you, sir?
How's it going, Jay Fields and your guest host?
Doing good, man.
That's great. I was raised in a Baptist church, coming up, and as an adult, I don't go to church on a regular basis, but the Lord is always in my heart, and I would think that anyone should have no problems voting for Kamala, because really we only have one choice, or only one party is for the people and not for themselves. And I want to say this like Trump say this: hey, just vote this one last time. for people that don't want to, that's stubborn about voting for Kamala. Just this one last time, I understand you with the Republican Party, but this isn't the old Republican Party. This is how can I put it? Trump brought those ones out of the closet, like Confederate. He brought those types out. So I would say, hey, hold off this 4 years, come back in another 4 years, and then vote Republican. Don't vote for this Republican Party, because that party that will compromise and both groups come together and they iron out their differences and agree on some things. It's not going to happen with this cult of a party that Trump has formed. So hold off on this 4 years, then come back in another 4 years and vote Republican. Because I think if we get rid of Trump now, we stand a great chance of getting rid of him forever. Keep up the good work.
Security Mike, I appreciate Security Mike, I appreciate that. Al, you're on the call. What you got for us, Al, from Milwaukee?
All I'm going to tell you is, for the ones who don't want to vote, let them rock. Just come out and say, I'm black, I'm lazy, I want the benefits, and I don't want to do the work. If you don't want to vote, let them rock. Worry about the ones who vote. And for those who don't eat, may they starve. Let them rock. You got too much to lose and too much to gain for those who don't want to get off the pot. So if you ain't going to get off the pot, ain't nothing going to you and that pot can get out. Have a good one.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Love Al. Love what Al brings.
All right. All right.
So thank you, Al. Thank you, Security Mike. Security Mike had a good, on one level, man, that's not necessarily a bad strategy. But I do, and I want you to come, David, to the article. But this is, Security Mike, this is not the same Republican Conservative Party, man. Listen, when you got Charlie Sykes.
That's right.
Supporting Kamala Harris. Listen, this is not the same group of people, you all.
He was our sworn enemy.
Man.
Just a few years ago.
You got people who were completely on different sides of the aisle now backing the same president. Because I think we've gotten to a point where this is bigger than, dare I say it, it's bigger than policy. This is the future of where this nation will go. Now, given that, how did you come to the reason why you needed to write this? I know somebody asked you.
Indeed.
But it had to be, and again, I could be wrong, but I'd imagine it was on your spirit to go, you know what? Let me give some words of encouragement to people who face this kind of stuff.
Indeed. I have been working for this woman for a while. I have been praying for her. I have been trying to use everything that I can to get her elected, because it's just that serious. It was on my spirit to write this, but I'll say this very quickly, because I know time is of the essence. But I think the other side of the table for the last 25 or 35 years has been the loudest voice talking about religion. They have it all wrong, though. They do things that they just take pieces of the Bible out of context, and they don't have a better reading than we do. They just get this stuff wrong, and I think. So I think I just think they get it wrong, but they just say it really, really loud. And I think those of the rest of us, the majority of us who are going to church every week and hearing the scriptures and hearing how liberating Jesus is, and hearing how Jesus is on the side of the oppressed, and hearing how Jesus stood up to people just like this man who is running for president, who has 34 felonies or something and counting, convictions. We go to church every week, and we're listening to this Jesus who was just really on the side of the people and was on the side of the oppressed and all of these things, and we say, well, how can the Jesus that they're talking about be our Jesus? And so that's really what that's been the driving force of much of my theology as an adult, is just just building a coalition of righting that sort of wrong. But what got me to put this piece together is, I mean, just the real impetus for this was when I saw this man out of his own mouth say that, and it wasn't the 2 Corinthians I'm going to cite from,
right.
And I don't really, all the books of the Bible, they're my favorites, all of that stuff. But what really got me is when he said that he doesn't ask for forgiveness and doesn't feel the need to ever ask for forgiveness. I said, this is literally the building block of Christianity.
Right.
I mean, you can't be a Christian unless you believe in the need for forgiveness and for salvation and for that's the entire reason why Jesus Christ came. And so this can't. I mean, I've heard people call him the Antichrist and all these things, but I can't go that far. I know when somebody says that, they are not a Christian. They're not a Christian, and in fact, they are contradicting the theology that we have, and they're dangerous for us.
I want to come back because after we come back to the break, because it just hit me the weight of someone saying, "I don't feel the need to ask for forgiveness." Yeah. The goal you have to have internally to feel like you don't do anything wrong.
That's right.
That's a mental health issue, man. That ain't
absolutely.
That's a mental health when you just arrived. So we're gonna have more of this conversation on the other side. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Indeed.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation!
And all our juicy jammers out there.
Make certain that you tap into Jam with Juice each and every day so you can quench your thirst.
That is right. You already know you can sip on us every single day, like Benjamin said, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But that's not all, y'all.
Catch us exclusively on YouTube for our 6 to 7 show.
Yep, only on Thursdays.
Catch Jamming with Juice each and every day on 101.7 The Truth.
Now sip on that.
Hardworking family businesses, ambitious entrepreneurs, relationship builders, and job creators. Businesses like yours are the heart of Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation lives to help you realize your vision. Join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development. It will be held December 11th and 12th at the Baird Center in Milwaukee and virtually on the 10th. Presented by WEDC, Marketplace Wisconsin is a chance for minority, women, LGBTQ+, veteran-owned and small businesses to network, explore government contracting, and grow. You keep our state moving with construction, janitorial services, logistics and transportation, technology, medical services, and more. And Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation wants to help propel your success too. Let's look forward together. Register for Marketplace Wisconsin today at marketplacewisconsin.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Ready to glow? RN2 Go Medical Services has you covered. With a top-notch team, including a skilled RN and medical doctor, they offer personalized treatments just for you. Feel fantastic with exceptional post-op care, invigorating IV hydration therapy, and vitamin injections. Enjoy advanced skincare, effective weight loss programs, and beauty enhancements like Botox, fillers, and PDO threads. Rejuvenate with PRP therapy and sculpt your dream body with cutting-edge body sculpting treatments. Why wait? Visit DestinationAestheticsMKE.com now to book your appointment. Your new radiant self is just a click away.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Dion. This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am Jason Fields, filling in with Dr. Ken, and special co-host today, Attorney Reverend David Hart. So we have Dion. Dion, what you got for us? Dion from Milwaukee.
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm just listening to you guys, and I definitely agree with a lot of the things you guys are saying, that Donald Trump is morally bankrupt. I don't know. And I heard one of my friends today, he was talking about voting, but I think a lot of black people miseducated about the whole. He was like, I'm voting for Trump. I was like, whoa. You know, I'm gonna chop it up with him during break and break down. But no, for real though, because I heard them say, and this is the key, Trump gave us those checks, and he don't really understand how that all came about, because he's not intertwined in this. You know, you understand? That's just like I was having a conversation with a white lady at my job today, and she was like, you know, and I'm spitting at her. I'm talking about facts. I got the mandate for leadership and downloaded on my phone. I'm a truck driver. I read it when I'm sitting back getting loaded and unloaded, or just in my downtime. I'm reading it. Like today when Sherwin was talking about, I went on there reading about the FCC. He's talking about if anybody spoke against him, he cutting them. You know, cutting the budget. All type of stuff, you know.
That's
when
right.
you read, when you get to reading a little bit more about it, you're like, wow, this is crazy. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just so disheartening to see, because I'm an older gentleman, and I remember Reagan and all. You know, like this guy, he's not a typical politician. He has none of the morals. Now, we're not saying Reagan and the first Bush or the second, but at least they had some type of charisma and swag
Rules
about
and regulations.
He just,
that's right. Rules and regulations.
Yeah, he just say whatever comes to mind. And I said, well, I told the lady, I said, well, Google Donald Trump talking about Arnold Palmer. Like, that was disgusting. For another man to talk about another man's genitalia like that, that was horrible. But these people, like, I don't know what type of, it's just basically they want to regain their whiteness and things like that, and they don't care what he say, what he do, long as he's for them. And, you know, I'm going to sit back and listen. I'm definitely enjoying the show. You guys keep up the good work. And stay safe out there, man.
Thank you, Dion.
Donald Trump did not support those checks. He insisted that his name be put on them.
That's right.
But he did not support those checks.
Yeah, it is one of the things, and we were talking about that. And Dion, I think you hit the nail on the head. It is a lot of miseducation, and even when you show people, there's still this tendency to not pay attention to it. I saw a couple of people post something, and they said, "We know he's not a good person. We're not looking for a preacher." And I'm sitting here going, I'm not looking for a preacher either, but for crying out loud, I know I don't want somebody to be who comfortable talking about other men's genitalia to have the nuclear codes. I know that. I know I don't want somebody who would vote for Putin before he vote for an American.
That's right.
And so one of the things, D, and if we talked about, and I was saying from the spiritual component, I went to school at Milwaukee Lutheran, a lot of evangelicals, and I couldn't understand. I mean, I guess I could, because I don't want to sound crass, but look, I just come from an era where, you know, if you white, I just expect you to do white people stuff.
Wow.
I mean, I hate to say it, but
I understand.
I ain't necessarily thinking you just gonna have my back all the time, right? But when we start talking about the spiritual stuff about it, or not even spiritual, just decent human beings, just morals.
That's right.
the fact that they just excuse a lot of this stuff, man. I had the question: did we read the same Bible?
That's right. That's right. I had the similar analysis. I mean, evangelicals have spent the last 30 years telling us, it's all about truth and morals and family and justice and all of these things, and with one candidate. In a couple of years, they have compromised. Actually, it is nothing less than the death of the evangelical movement. They have illustrated to us, and Trump has made them illustrate to the world that they don't mind compromising what they believe or what they tell us they believe about the scriptures, about the Bible, about morals, about family, about any of that stuff. They simply don't. And I had a very similar analysis as you.
And one of the things that always hits me is, and I think as a black person and as a black man in today's society, you have to ask the question: if President Obama would have been doing the same things, you cannot tell me that these same evangelicals or other people or even black people who support Trump, if Obama did the same stuff, these be the very first people in line saying, "Nah, he wrong." They'd be the very same people.
They wouldn't simply say he was wrong. This would be an absolute outrage. I mean, this man couldn't even wear a tan suit. Right. And it not be an out. I mean, he couldn't even be a married man, not having any allegations whatsoever that impugned him. But Fox News called his wife and the mother of his children Obama's baby mama. That's what we had to deal with in his administration, in his era. I simply can't. I just can't even fathom that a quarter of the stuff that Donald Trump has actually said and done, that we've watched him and listened to him say. I can't imagine that any other person, but particularly Obama, would have gotten away with any of this stuff.
Pastor, I want to give you, we got about 2 minutes. I want to give you the last word, man, on how do we bring back, how do we navigate this, because it's almost turning into, if not a civil war, a religious war, where there are those of us who, I'm not going to say these people are not godly or not Christ, but I know when I read the Bible, I can't just pick and choose one sin and ignore the others.
That's right.
I mean, when you look at the multitude, it's a number of them.
Yeah.
I can't just say, well, if you don't do this one, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And there's 100 others that you're guilty of.
Yeah.
How did you navigate that space?
Well, I'm going to do like Mom, and I'm going to give you a couple of points. The first point, I think, is that as believers or as spiritual people, we're going to have to read the scriptures and follow Jesus' teachings in their entirety, and read in its entirety, not just pull pieces out that satisfy us or satisfy the viewpoint that we want to have, but read the scriptures in its entirety. And I think if we read those scriptures in its entirety, we find we find room for the immigrant. We find room for gays, lesbians, bisexuals, transgenders. We find room for a very big tent. The second thing I think that we need to do is we need to figure out how to get back to just having civil discourse. Now, and I'm not talking about when your objection to me or the discourse is rooted in my oppression, or rooted in, as Baldwin would say, rooted in the oppression of me. But I'm saying, we can, like you've just had and you've been having on these shows, good political discussion. Finally, we just have to get back to love, man.
Yeah,
we just got to get back to love.
I think this has been a great show, and I want to thank all the callers for calling in. And Jay, thank you for holding me down again, like always.
I got you, Jason. Come on.
Very good. Very good discussion. And to all the callers again, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you can be a person, a spiritual person, and still do your civic duty. We have a fight on our hands, you all, and I think that is a fight of just where do we want our future to look like? Is it one of love, or is it one where it's full of hypocrisy? Because there will be a price to pay for hypocrites. I'll leave it at that. I want to thank you all for listening to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio on the Avenue at the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I'm Jason Fields, filling in for Dr. Ken, who was on assignment. See you all next time.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our